I wish I would have known that music changes how movies are perceived. I wish I understood Premiere. I've already made a tutorial for that. And I wish I knew that filmmaking isn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. That's great. I think one of the things that happen with new filmmakers is that they are scared about what's going to happen, and it is a collaborative art form. But unfortunately, I think at the beginning of the art form, it's not very collaborative, and you have to do it kind of by yourself. So I wish I would have known how to use sound better, and also knowing that the Library of Congress and public domain had a lot of things that I could have used. And then they also said I wish I'd have edited on my laptop at home, but. The public domain and Library of Congress, if you're having trouble coming up with ideas, there are millions and millions of public domain things. I'm going to do a video on public domain and copyright at some point, and that way you can think about it as well if you could use it. But also this student said they wish they knew how to use a slate. And if you don't know what a slate is, drop it down in the comments and I'll make a video. So don't get ahead of yourself and make sure you're creating for yourself and not somebody else. Don't let other people's opinions get in the way of creating what you want. Oh my God. These were all anonymous too, so I don't even know who these students are. But if that's what the student learned, that should just be like a good philosophy moving forward in general. You should make the stuff that you want to make, use the tools at your disposal, know the responsibility with them, and use them effectively. And this is really cool that make something for yourself. I'm glad that student got that. You should know that you're not alone in the process. Sometimes it's okay to work alone, especially if it's not a long film. It doesn't matter if your script is horrible. Someone, and I mean one person, will enjoy it. Remember, there's always room for improvement, so don't think you're perfect. This is from an 8th grader. So, yeah, these were 8th graders, film 1 and film 2, and this is from I believe from the 8th grade pile. So yeah, you're hearing that from an 8th grader. Remember, there's one person out there that likes it. Some of these videos I've made have gotten 15 or 20 views. Some have gotten thousands, and but if you're enjoying it, that's the most important part, and getting it out in the world. I'm gonna keep this one till the end. All right, take everything into consideration when you're putting it on screen. Don't be afraid to ask for things, even if they may be specific. Think about every character and when you're writing. So yeah, this student learned that everything is done for a reason. You're making choices as a filmmaker, as an artist, as a human. What do you hope people remember you for? What do you hope they remember your film for? This one says only use vertical if it has to do with the story. I think I have a good idea of who this filmmaker might be. Learn to use the camera before I'm a junior in high school. I know exactly who this filmmaker is. And movies can be anything. And so this was tying back to my first day of class, and I have a lecture on what is a movie. And so we just kind of break it down, like what does that actually mean? And is there something that is a movie versus isn't a movie? What's your definition of a movie? You can drop it down below. We usually go through it. Everybody picks their definition. They work together and we come up with a definition for the class. So, and then I teach kind of through that. So every class gets taught a little bit differently depending on what the filmmakers think a movie is. Make a schedule. To-do lists are your best friend. Films feel longer before you edit them. That is 100% true. When you're on set, you're like, oh my God, this is going on forever. And then you cut it down. The film industry focuses on money, so be ready to compromise your creativity if you want a budget. Choose the non-negotiable aspects and protect them. Oh, whoa, that's deep. Editing requires time. And then physical media is timeless. Streaming is not. Oh, that's good for me because I guess all my talk about physical media, my DVDs got through to them. So that's pretty cool that was what happened. And this person put one thing. It'll likely be the most fulfilling thing you do. And I think that's a good place to stop today as I'm breaking through all of these kind of barriers that I've kind of set up for myself at some point and trying to figure out what it is about this. I'm currently in the process of trying to figure out like what is the best day. I'm able to do this 100% of my time right now, and that is terrifying, but also very rewarding. I've never been able to do that in my entire career. And usually I've had to have something else going at the same time. If you are in a place right now where there's nobody else around you to help you create, or and there's no one else around you to help you bring your films to life, then you should be using this tool and not listening to everybody else that's not making movies or not being creative or not doing what they want to do, telling you shouldn't do it. So um, I hope you have a wonderful day. Do something kind for somebody, share your knowledge with somebody else, and I will see you next week.